Hello people, I'm coming to you today to show you one of my new tarot decks. And this one, let me increase the light a little bit. And this one is the Fablemaker's animated tarot set. So I bought the set with the tarot deck and the accompanying full guidebook. This was created primarily to be a tarot deck to be used with RPG games, specifically the D&D 5e, which is something I play. So I bought this deck first because I love tarot, of course, but also I play D&D, so I'm intending on using this deck on my games as well. I will probably use this as a divination tool from time to time, but primarily it's a game tool for me. Okay, so inside the set, as I say, we have the deck box and we have the full guidebook, which I'm still reading. However, you can choose to buy only the deck without the full book, and it comes with a smaller but not so smaller book in here. The thing about this one is that it has like a beginning, introduction, more than a few pages actually, explaining what's tarot, how to use tarot, and associating how you can use it in the game. It was written, if I'm not mistaken, by someone. Okay, here, Misty Bourne. She's a tarot reader and also a RPG player, a D&D player. So she has knowledge on both areas, which I think was really great. And I read through this basic book. She does a great job explaining, like, for the non-tarot readers, for the gamers, primarily what is tarot, how to use tarot, how to make questions. And I think this first part is really nice, even if you're not a gamer, to understand a little bit about tarot. And what attracted me to this deck, of course, is the fact that it's animated and we're going to see it. But here, for the card meanings, for the major arcana, we have like a full page with keywords and description. Also some things related to the game, some like abilities and proficiencies, things about D&D. But for the minor arcana, in this smaller version of the guidebook, we only have like a little section here, which might be enough for you if you're already used to tarot and the Rider-Waite-Smith system. But I do love the big book, even though I am like a fourth of the way through it. A lot of information is repeated, like it has the same beginning, but it has a lot more about the cards. So in the beginning you have like repeated the part about tarot, how to interpret, how to make questions and all that. But we also have a lot about spreads. We have a lot of spreads specifically for divination, and a lot of spreads specific for the game, to create situations on the game. There is a full section for the gamer about a character that can introduce tarot in the story and how she can work with the cards. You have like the stats for her in the game and all that. Really, really nice if you're into RPG. And then we go into the cards, which we have like full image, full page with the same description that was on the smaller book. But in this one, we also have like questions, whispers for the weaver, for the weave. So we have questions that can be used either in the game to get something out of it, but I found it really good for divination as well, for like reflection and journaling. Really, really love this. And it's the same throughout all cards. It doesn't matter if it's major or minor arcana, which is great, so you get a lot more information here. Okay, so these were the books. Let me put them back here. And the deck came in here. Let me get. And like it's a really chunky deck. It's really huge. It came like half here, and these two instruction cards about how to take care of the cards, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So I'm not going to show you that in detail. Let me put this back so that I can bring my deck here, because it's on a improvised box. Why is it an improvised box? Because one of the recommendations about taking care of the deck is to put it in sleeves, which I did, which makes the deck even chunkier than it already is. So can you see? This is a deck that I already consider like it's like a normal tarot size. Can you see the difference? So yeah, it doesn't bother me, to be very honest with you. I knew what I was getting into once I got the deck, and I'm going to turn off the lights because of this glare here in these leaves, and I'm not about to take these leaves off, so I'm going to show you the animations, but I'm not taking them out of these leaves. The point on the plastic sleeve is to protect like the lenticular, I think is the name of this technology that they use to, you know, can you see like the movement, to make up the movement in these cards. And I don't know about you, but I grew up with some like Pokemon and other games and anime like card or items that had this thing that if you move the card you could see like different images or like a little bit of movement, but this one is like it's super extra. I think the old ones in the old days had like 2 or 3 images that you moved and you could see like something changing, and they were like a small little thing, but these ones are like maybe 8, 9, I don't know, a lot of different sections, I think, different images combined together to make up like this movement. Okay, so I'm going to do a flip through to these cards. In these leaves, I'm going to try to position them so that the glare doesn't prevent you from seeing the image, but I prefer them in these leaves. It was not a cheap tarot deck, especially where I live. So I would like to conserve it to prevent damage, and since I'm going to be using it in gaming as well as in divination, I'd like it to last a lot. The material is like a thick plastic, that's what gives it its thickness, like its chunkiness. So it's already pretty resistant. I just don't want any scratches on the image. Okay, so there you have the full. And again, be aware of the chunkiness of this deck if you want to get it. I was completely aware of it and I was ready to deal with that, and I love it. I really do. So let's go through the cards, and eventually I may stop in a card to say something or make some comments. Some animations are really impressive, like I love the Magician and a few others that we're going to get through, but some are more subtle, and I saw some people complaining online. I don't really mind. I like the idea of an animated card. They're really cute, they're really nice. Okay, so we have here like the leaves falling in the Empress. This is a little bit more subtle than the others. You have a lot of shiny things moving, but the Emperor himself doesn't move. And one thing I've been noticing when I use this for divination is that the animation actually gives me some clues in how to interpret the card. I think they contribute to the traditional meaning of these cards. So we have like the light coming down and shining up on their heads for the Hierophant. The Lovers, we have some vines moving around here. The Chariot. This is a really impressive animation, like the little sphinx things here moving really smoothly. I love this one. Strength is a really cute one. She's caressing the lion and his tail moves. The hermit has like a lot of fog thing here and kind of a shine in the lamp. Wheel of Fortune. That would be really nice if the wheel could spin, but I think by on the way they did this animation, which is like moving up and down in the vertical direction, kinda, it would be like difficult, maybe not possible. I don't know, but I do like this one. It's great, pretty nice. Justice. Have the curtains in the back, moving with the wind. She has her eyes closed. Maybe you cannot see in the camera right now. A hanged man. Quite a nice one too. Death. Again, it would be nice if the horse moved a little bit, but that's fine. I still like it. Like, you know, like moving up and down a little bit. Like if it was really coming up. I don't know. But yeah, it's nice. Temperance. It's kind of subtle. We have like the sun in the wings, but the water also flows a little bit from one cup to the next. Oh, the devil is a really good one. Like they kind of bowing down and their tails moving and the fire burning here. The eyes also have like a hypnotic effect kinda, which I love. This is amazing. I think it's one of my favorite cards in this deck. I really like the tower, to be honest with you. It's one card that I get it. I understand this card when it comes up. I understand the chaos. But in this deck, it's really fantastic. You can see like the lightning and fire raining, and the people jumping up and down the tower. Really, really good. Star is another one that is really, really subtle. There's like flow in the water, but that's pretty much it. Maybe like a little bit of shine in the stars. The moon. I love the wolves howling to the moon. And we have the sun, which is super bright. There is quite a lot of movement, and he's like playing with a horse. Judgment. Most of the movement is like on the top here, on this angel-like creature. Not really much on the bottom. The world. It's more of the ribbon going around. She doesn't really move. And that's the end of the major arcana. I'm going to take them out so they start falling here on the sides. Let's go into the wands. Okay, so the minor arcana is a little bit more subtle in terms of animation, but it's still pretty good, great. You can see like a lot of fire, which is the symbol of the wands. And it's all traditional right away, it's you can totally see it. One thing that I found really nice about this deck that you're going to see throughout the minor arcana is that there's like a strong hint of cultural representation on each suit. So as you can see here in the ones, we have a lot of oriental things, people, it's really like we have like that samurai vibe, oriental vibe, really clear in here. And the other suits have also some specific cultural representation to them. So the Seven of Wands here, you can see a lot of movement in the wands in here, like they are really trying to attack them, and he's defending, which is great. The Eight of Wands, I like how they made like it, they running around. So it's the traditional imagery, which in my opinion, in the traditional, I don't know how we would think about movement and motion in the Eight of Wands, but I like how they kept the traditional. They didn't change like how it was represented, but they put the movement in here. So even though I have a few reservations about the Eight of Wands in general because of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith representation, which shows, for me, doesn't really look like movement a lot. But in here, they managed to keep that and put the movement in so I can see it now. So yeah, the ones are kind of turning around, and you have like a lot of fire and lightning kind of thing. So really oriental, the people and the scenarios, everything. And in the night. Yeah, I guess the problem with making the horses like bouncing or something, it's really probably not possible because none of the horses that show up in here, they kind of move at all. So it's probably a limitation of the format of the animation. I love this Queen of Wands. She's so pretty. And again, that oriental kind of vibe. That's really nice. And then we come into the chalices, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's more of a classic Latin vibe, I guess. You know, like you have these temples in Latin America, in like Peru and other countries, and there is a specific vibe and clothing for those old times, traditional like history of Latin culture, and sometimes you have like the covering on the face, but not really. For me, it gives more a Latina vibe, classic, like historical Latina vibe or something like that. Oops, put it down like this. Okay, so 3 of chalices, and here the cups are changed the name to chalices. So again, subtle animations. We have a little bit of the cloud here moving. We have like shining things on the card that I'm so sorry that you can't see super well, but if I put more light in here, you cannot see at all. So oh, this one is so great. So great. 6. 7. I like the 7 also. It's very nice. The 8. The 9. Again, super subtle. We have like shining on the cups and the curtains on the back. Moving, but not really in a strong way or not very chaotic. Which again, I think contributes to the meaning of the card. And then we have here the rainbow kind of shining all around. Not sure. Yeah, probably the camera won't show you, but I love these little kids like dancing here. Clothes in the wind. This is nice. The little fish comes in and out of the cup in the page. Knight of Chalices. Can you see? I totally think that's like a traditional historical kind of Latino vibe from specific Latino countries or places in Latin America. So I think that's really nice. This one is really subtle. There's like water moving here and the sun shining at the back and little shine things, sparkles on the cup, but that's pretty much it. And here we have like a lot of water moving, and again sparkles all around. Let me put this one on the box as well so it doesn't start falling down. And then I have the Ace of Coins. Most of the animations in the coins have a lot of these coins like spinning around. Two of Coins, and in the coins it's more like an African vibe, which is also really nice. So we have shining on the like glass and the coins spinning. The coins are always spinning somehow. He's like holding on to this one, and there's one spinning on the top. 5 with a lot of snow falling. And I feel like some of the coins spin a different like speed from one card to the other, which is quite interesting to interpret when you're reading. 6. And even the little coins like spin a little bit. The 7. The 8. The 9. Have a lot of things spinning, even in different like timing, which I think is quite good. And a 10 to finish the numbers. Again, different timing for each coin, but they spin a lot. Page. Knight. This queen is also so gorgeous. She's so beautiful. And this king seems so powerful. I love him. Okay, let me put these ones to the sides and let's go into the swords. Okay, a lot of air, obviously. 2 of swords. Water moving behind, a lot of wind. 3 of swords, again, very traditional. I like how they kept the traditional. I saw some people complaining on other reviews that they could have done more or so and so. I don't mind. I like the traditional imagery, and I like how they interpret the animation side of things in the exact like traditional imagery and symbology. And F4, then F5, and there's a lot of air. 6, and we can see like the water moving, which I think is great for the 6 of swords. The 7, very subtle as well. We have the wind on the clothes, and that's pretty much it. A little bit of sparkling on the swords. As always, sparkling on the swords. And hair moving, clothes moving with the wind. There's a little bit of water here in front of her. The Nine of Swords is a fantastic card because we basically have like the shining here, but in here we have like two little people fighting on the wood, like carving thing on the bed. And it's so great for the meaning of the Nine of Swords. I think that's fantastic. And Ten of Swords, again, we have just like the sun shining and moving, like the rays moving around, a little bit of sparkle in the swords, and that's it. Of course, we have like the air moving the clouds a little bit, not a lot, and everything's like dark. Then Page of Swords. Now pay attention, Page of Swords, we have movement all around, air flowing in, wind and all that. Let me put this to the side. And then we have the Knight of Swords, still have movement, not as dramatic as this one, if you can remember. Not as dramatic. Then we come to the Queen, again movement, but not really a lot of butterflies flying in. And then we come to the King, and there's no movement at all in the back. We have like sparkles, and that's pretty much it. And people complained a lot about this. I saw like at least 2 videos with people complaining. I think that actually matches the story that the cards tell and the meaning. Like the King is basically in control of his thoughts, you know, so there is no turbulence in here. As for the Page, there's a lot of turbulence in the air, so it's kind of progression. So I think that's pretty nice if you think it and interpret it like that. So these were the cards. Let me put them back on my improvised box. I also do this one a lot for inner child work, because as I said, they remind me of those items from Pokemon or other brands that had this kind of technology for animating little cards or little tokens or things like that. So I hope you like it. I hope it helped you understand the cards a little bit better, the ones that we commented on, and that gave you an overview of what the deck is and my impressions on it. I see you in the next video, and feel free to comment below if you have any particular interpretation of any card here. I always like to see people's interpretation on the tarot and different cards. And if you like this video, please press the like button, and I see you next time. Bye.